and sand that up for you all. I'll get this started to be unpacked and then we'll be back. That's a surprise. When you actually book this, it doesn't say it comes with a shelf, a tool holder shelf, which is here as well. So that's a nice surprise. Let's carry on packing. Also ordered, wow, it comes with a magnetic LED work lamp, another thing I didn't realise it came with, so that's another nice surprise. But I also ordered the record power C4 professional gear chuck as well, and a set of 4-inch drills to go with it. Now, let's see, something all this shrink wrap. Very well packed. See, it's very well packed. So fair play to Record Power for that. I actually bought this from a company called Styles and Bates down in Kent. Very good company, recommend them. One thing I didn't realise was that it was going to be set up like this, hence why it's so heavy. But I think I'll break it down before I move it to where it's going to be sitting. Right, so managed to get the legs into the workshop. I'm now going to attach the feet, just to make sure that, you know, if there's anything that's unlevel in your workshop, you can keep it and get that nice and level, because last thing you want to do is have anything wobbling. Once I've got all the feet on and I'm ready to put the top on, I'll come back. One thing I just want to point out on these feet that I've just found out is this nut here doesn't actually move, it's all fixed in. If you put a spanner on it to turn it, all it does, it moves the ball in the foot. This thread actually screws in to the bottom of the legs, as in here. So this thread screws into there, and then that nut goes on and will lock it once you've set your heights. So what I'm going to do now, so the legs are done, I'm going to take the shelf out. I don't know if that'll just slide out, or whether you have to cut the box open. There we go. Look at that, that's nice. And as I say, for me it was a surprise because I didn't know that it came with the shelf, which is lovely. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit it into the bottom of the leg first, into these 4 holes, and then put the other leg in, and then that will hold it for when I go and put the top on. I think that's the best way, because it looks like this has to go in first before that anyway. I was thinking that those bolts there would be for the shelf. So when I slid that shelf out earlier, you'll find the bolts are in the box as well. Don't throw the box away until you've got the nuts and bolts out. So shelf's in. Now I've put the level on, and it looks to be at this end here needs to come up a bit. I'm just doing that as a rough guide for the moment. Once I put the top on, I'll level it in properly, but this is just giving me an idea. Now I haven't tightened these up fully yet, just in case I need to move this about to put the top on. And also, but I'm not sure of, in that packet there was only 4 screws, 8 washers, and 4 locking nuts, but it does, you would think, take another 4. I'm not sure on that. Not sure. If I do find anything, then I will certainly and let you know. So I should get the top put on, and then we'll come back and see what it's going to look like. So I've now been able to manhandle this in myself. But when this turned up in that crate that you saw me unpacking with, you had the headstock, the rest, and the tail stock. Now you've got an Allen key and a nut here, and all I've done to make this lighter, after getting somebody to help me lift this part with everything on it around towards the into the back garden, I undone this, then everything slides off. So it makes it more manageable for you to be able to do it yourself then, if you've got no one who can give you a hand. This is still pretty hefty on its own now, I must say. So, you know, watch your backs. I'm not saying you should lift it on your own, because it's over 25 kilo for a start. But, you know, if you've got a little bit of no help at all, then, you know, you might be able to do it on your own. But if you have got some help, I recommend somebody giving you a lift, even with everything off. Okay, so got the bed on. I haven't leveled anything off yet, because I wanted to see where the headstock, once it's on there now, of how far I need to bring the bed out and the whole lot out from here. All this is going to be gone in a minute, so it's going to be fine. So that's why I haven't leveled it up just yet. When you go to lift this back on, this is heavier than the bed, and also you're going to need somebody to give you a hand, because somebody's going to need to hold that. To try and put that up there and lift that and lift this, it's tough, very tough. You're going to need somebody to give you a hand, I think, unless you're one of Britain's strongest men. But yeah, I'll get all this now unwrapped, because this will be all the electric box, and then we'll be back and see where we're going to go from there. Okay, so I've just quickly unwrapped it, ish, and then I will have a look at the manual on how to attach this, because I know it goes under there somewhere, and obviously this is your magnetic control box, and that's solid. That you're not moving that. You're not moving that. I'll be back. So, recap a little bit. So when I was doing the shelf, and I said I'm pretty sure it should come with another 4 nuts and bolts, it's now worked out. So the 2 that I put into the shelf at this end, you don't need to do, because when you put the big main electrical box in, there's 4 Allen keys that come with it, and they take up those 4 holes. So those 2 that I've taken out of here now will go back and go this end of the shelf. So yeah, so that's something I've just quickly learned. It'd help if I read the instructions maybe a little bit more, but yeah, so I'll get that. That's in and all tightened up now, power box. I'll get these in the shelf at this end. I'll move the headstock back, and then we'll sort out about leveling that up. Right, okay, so I've got my headstock in now to where I need it. As I say, I haven't got a massive workshop, but it's not the size of the workshop, it's what you produce, in my opinion. So let's try and level, let's see what she's like for level. Luckily she's spot on, left to right, left to right, right to left. Now let's go across there. Okay, so I just need to bring the back up a little, only a little. It probably isn't going to make much difference, but if it's level, then it should all be fine. So I'll level that up, and then we'll fit the rest, and we'll bring the tailstock in. Okay, so we've adjusted the legs. I'm now level that way, and I'm now still level that way. So all I've got to do is just tighten them off in a minute. But now I'm going to fit the rest, which is an absolute beaut. slider in, and this is all because you can undo those, he says. Comes out easy and it goes back in then. That goes. Just right. Very greasy. Comes. So that's the rest in place. Just going to wipe my hands. My workshop don't usually look like this, but it does for putting this in. So it's very, very greasy. Whatever grease you don't get off, the sawdust will soon find that, don't worry. And then tailstock. It's on the camber, so get your camber right. Just take that a second. Spring. After I do that, shouldn't do. There it is. That's what it was there. And tailstock. Beautiful, beautiful movement to this machine. Easy, simple, absolute beauty. Looking forward to getting to use it, which will be sometime over the weekend. But I'm also going to do continue the video tomorrow now, because I've only quickly come in and set this up after work, where I'll go through changing the belts. This is a cam lock, which I haven't quite worked out yet how that works, but I will. This here, incidentally, is what tightens and loosens the headstock, just there and there, and it's nicely offset, so you've got it straight down and then that way as well. So as you put your bar in, it doesn't matter which way it's going to be, you can tighten it. So yep, so that's the unpacking and the setting up of it. As I say, I'll carry on and do the belt, get it all electric up, and then we'll get something going on it and spinning and see how we go. So this also came with the lathe, which I didn't have a clue it was coming with it, which is a magnetic LED work light. It says it could be battery operated or USB mains operated, and you can do it as a spotlight and a flood beam. So let's have a look. As I said, I had no idea this was turning up with the lathe, so it's a few nice surprises. There's USB and some plastic pipe of some sort. That's it. That's it. So let's have a map it. See how good this is. Well, it's definitely magnetic. I actually do have a light that I use. It's not magnetic or anything. Alright. Okay. Well, it looks pretty straightforward, so obviously you can twist it around a little. I can't see that being too bad if you had a bowl in here and the light. Is it? Okay, so not sure if you'd be able to use rechargeable batteries with this, and then recharge them and then put them in. Although you've got that magnetic there, there's also that one. Oh, that's a lot stronger. That one's a lot stronger. That's moving about without. That obviously just tightens then, I imagine. Cool. Certainly grips, that do. I'll have a little play with it and I'll see what I find out. Okay, so according to Record Power, or Styles and Bates, the company I bought this from, with the chuck that I've actually got, this is the SC4 Professional. I had the SC3 I think beforehand. That was a great chuck, so I've upgraded to the SC4 as well as the 100mm dovetail jaws as well, so I can hold bigger work pieces. It means I've got the bigger lathe. So have a look, see what this looks, see what these look like. Very nice, well machined by the look. Very nice set of jaws there. Okay, so I've just taken that upside down, that can't be bad. Nice and oily. Beautiful looking jaw, which obviously if I'll do a 4" 10mm, whatever I decide to do, that says that they will expansion 94 to 114mm, contraction on the spigot 76 to 95mm, and construction squares is 54 to 74. So I haven't used these yet. It's the first time I'm going to be using the 4" jaws. I'll do another video and see how they work. So the SC4, let's have a look, see what this nice solid box, which is what I remember my SC3 being in. Titan handle, hex handle, very nice. Now I spoke with Styles and Bates and said that I had concerns. Well, lift it up, there's all your other stuff. So faceplate, your jaws, faceplate, jaws, all your screws and stuff, and for locking the jaws, or the chuck per se. So my only concern I had with this SC4 compared to the SC3, the SC4 is on a hex, and I was worried about if this was ever going to wear. And I said if that wears, it's obviously this is just going to spin inside that. Well, I've been assured that of all the Record Power SC4 chucks they've sold, they've not had one back yet where this has stripped or became defect. So on their word, I've gone for it yet again. Not use this type, and I'll do another video in a few months and let you know how this one's going along as well.